Hey, this is Sean with gamervision.com, and today we're going to be doing a frame-by-frame look at the new Mortal Kombat trailer from Warner Games. Get our first full look at Shao Kahn here, ruler of the Outworld. He's revealed as the eyes we saw at the beginning of the trailer. He's wearing his standard spikes and skulls. Here we get our first full look at Raiden, protector of the Earth Realm, with the lightning running across his hands. His outfit looks like the one he wore in Mortal Kombat 3. And now our first full look at Shao Kahn's arena, which made its first appearance in Mortal Kombat 2. You can notice Shao Kahn's throne in the background as Raiden and Shao Kahn prepare to do battle. Series regulars Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero fighting here at the Deadpool arena, first seen in Mortal Kombat 2. Johnny throwing his curving energy orb and nailing Sub-Zero with it. Now we're back at Kahn's arena, and we see Outworld Ninja Reptile revealing himself from his chameleon move, a hallmark of the character. Reptile appears to have been given a complete design overhaul here. Here we see Nightwolf firing a spirit arrow from his bow at Reptile in the Pit, an arena that's been in pretty much every iteration of the franchise. On the right, in the background, you can see two fighters, possibly Ken Shi, the blind sword fighter who debuted in Deadly Alliance, and Quan Chi, the Netherworld necromancer who first appeared in Mortal Kombat 4. Here we get our first full look at Melina, looking a lot like Ivy Valentine from Soul Calibur, fighting on the bridge level from Mortal Kombat 3. Now Melina has moved to the Combat Temple and is fighting Sub-Zero. If you look closely at Sub-Zero, you can see that he seems to have sustained some damage. This would mark the first time a Mortal Kombat title would have damage modeling. Then we see Melina break out all three of her signature moves, those being the Rolling Thunder, Double Kick from Above, and Soaring Sai. Here's our first full look at Kung Lao on the rooftop level. You can see that a modern city's burning in the background. Now we see Kung Lao fighting Reptile in the living forest from Mortal Kombat 2, and Kung Lao busts Reptile with his hat throw. This is our first full look at Johnny Cage. We can see his new thug tattoo and truck driver belt buckle, just in case he forgets who he is. Now we get our first full look at Sector, one of the two cyborg characters introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. He's throwing flames from his hands. Sector also looks to have gotten a full design makeover, almost resembling Iron Man. Full-on look at Apache Indian Nightwolf getting his charge from Raiden's lightning. And now we're back in the Deadpool with Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero freezes Johnny and then breaks an ice sword off in his chest, which appears to be a new move for Sub-Zero. In the background, you can actually see a prisoner being lowered into the acid. Now we're back in the living forest as Sector fires a chest missile at Melina and follows it up with a rocket punch. Note the jet blasts coming off of Sector's back there, showing off more of that Iron Man-inspired look. At this point in the trailer, it's becoming apparent that, unlike the last three core MK games, this one doesn't use multiple fighting styles or weapons. This should make old-school fans happy. Here we get our first look at tag team fighting, a new feature for this game, and it looks like it's going to be used in a similar fashion to the one used in Marvel vs. Capcom. You can see Johnny Cage and Nightwolf are facing off against Sub-Zero and Kung Lao at the Pit. Kung Lao comes to Sub-Zero's aid, throwing a hat at Nightwolf, and notice how the hat flies into the foreground at the end there. Pretty cool little detail. Also notice in the background there, the two combatants on the bridge have changed. It's tough to tell who they are, but it's definitely not Ken Shi and Quan Chi, as seen earlier. Here Reptile unleashes his acid spit on Sector, back at the Deadpool. Here we get to see a little more of that tag team action between Johnny Cage and Nightwolf and Kung Lao and Sub-Zero. Kung Lao starts to charge up his wind teleport, but Nightwolf calls down lightning from above, knocking him down. Back in the living forest with Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero, Johnny unleashes some kind of a punch attack on Sub-Zero, which causes this X-ray effect here. We're not sure if this is the damage modeling in action, or maybe Johnny Cage's fatality, or something else. Here we see Reptile landing an open-handed uppercut on Johnny Cage back at the Pit, and it looks like a much harder punch than normal. This leads me to think the spike fatality is back. Here we've got Kung Lao getting Sub-Zero ready for what looks like a brutal new fatality as he drops his spinning blade hat, grabs both of Sub-Zero's legs, likely cutting him in half. Yeah, the spike fatality is back. And lastly, we see the aftermath of Kung Lao's fatality as he wipes the blood off the brim of his hat and a pair of hot slave women look on. The one on the left is Mortal Kombat Deception's Kira. That's it for the Mortal Kombat trailer. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check back to gamervision.com for more frame-by-frames.